This is the plaintiff, Deborah Genovese. She says she hired the defendant to move her belongings because she was moving, and the man turned out to be a hack who did a terrible job. The defendant doesn't have a legitimate business. This is a case about principle, because he shouldn't be allowed to continue doing this to others. That's why she's suing him here and now for the $1,720 she's owed. This is the defendant, Steve Martin. He says the plaintiff knew full well he's a landscaper by trade when she hired him. He did a great job moving all the plaintiff's belongings, completed the job on time, and thought she was a happy camper when the day was done. Boy, was he surprised when he got notice in the mail from the courthouse saying he was being sued. Bottom line, it's now up to the judge to decide. He's accused of moving mayhem.
All parties, please get your ready. Seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Deborah Genovese, you are suing Steve Martin and Martin's Landscaping and Property Cleanup. You're the owner. You're going to be representing for $1,720 that you want returned to you, money that you put down on a move you haven't done yet, and money that you paid for a move you did do. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, in mid-September of 2017, I sold my condo. I sold a bedroom set to a friend of the family's, and Martin came to move the bedroom set for her, and that's how I met him. At that time we started talking. I was telling him that I was moving. He said he owned a
Where were you moving to?
I was moving to Virginia.
Okay.
He said he owned a moving company. I said, would you like to give me an estimate? He said he would. And as a result, he came in
Can
with
I see the estimate?
Okay. Well, it wasn't an estimate, actually. It was what he wrote up. I had to pay 50% of the move, which was $950.
May I see that?
Yeah.
This is a moving contract agreement between Steve Martin with Martin's Landscaping and Property Cleanup. It's not like he hid it. It's right there that this is not his day job.
Well, he
I
said
mean,
it
yeah,
was
he moves. Obviously, that's how you met him. He was moving somebody
well, in
else.
the second move, it's another company. It's a moving company.
Okay. The second move would be after you've already paid the $950, right?
No, we had some family issues.
Stop a second. This is your first agreement with him, and
Yes.
according to this, you paid him a retainer of $950. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you paid the $950. Then there's
did.
another agreement that you enter into, because as it turns out, when it's time to move to Virginia, what happens?
Well, a couple weeks before it was time to move to Virginia, we had some family problems, and I was canceling the move to Virginia, but I was moving to a local storage unit. I wanted him to do the move, did not ask him for money back, but to put it towards that move, and I was going to also use him for my future move when I was ready.
Okay. So
He came to my house. We spoke about it. He came to my house and drew up this contract
let me see that one.
and said I had to pay him $570.
But why? If you have a $950 credit, why? Well, why did you?
Because at this point in time, I had a closing the next week, and there was no way I was going to get another moving company to come in and
So
move
what
me.
was the day that he presented you with that bill?
On
What day was that? Yeah.
the 11/11.
And your
November
move
11th
was when?
was supposed to be the 15th,
Okay.
but it's dated
So he
December, and he made me.
Comes in and total due $570. Now, according to you, why are you charging her if there's already the $950 that was a credit, because that move didn't happen?
The $950 was a deposit for the trucks.
What truck? To?
The rental for the U-Haul.
Did you rent a truck?
I rented a truck through a third party. Instead of doing it through U-Haul, I rented a truck through a third party because it was
Okay,
cheaper.
so what are you saying, that $950 went to another person?
Yes.
Show me proof that that $950 went to another person.
I don't have that. I only have our
Do you
paperwork.
have a rental
No.
agreement for that? By the way, the move to Virginia was supposed to be when, 11/15?
Yes.
Right. Show me proof that you rented it and obligated yourself that long before.
I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't think that happened. But in any event, you made a deal with her. She's the one who broke that deal because of your circumstance. And so I understand your inclination to say that $950 is mine. You want me to move you. You're still going to Virginia. At the time, you said to him, "I'm still going to Virginia." You said you didn't even ask for your money back.
No, I didn't.
Right. So you figured I'm going to need him anyway, so it's fine. And you ended up paying the $570. And you paid him that 4 days before the move?
Yes, and he also made me sign that paper because he said otherwise he wouldn't do the move. So I had to sign saying everything was moved properly
What day was
before
the
it was the
move?
move.
How old are you?
I'm 65.
Okay, can you please tell me why you would sign something that says, I have inspected the moving van, I have received all my goods, and I hereby release them from any claims 4 days before a move?
Because he told me that was if I didn't sign the claim and give him the money, he would not do the move. And I had a closing the next week, and I had 2,500 square feet of furniture and no way of getting it out.
Who does this? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if a landscaper comes to you and says, look, I can do moving for you for much cheaper than a mover, would you hire the landscaper to move your stuff?
No, I would not.
Why not?
You can't plant anything with moving.
Well, okay, I mean, that's true, but they have a truck and they can move it from point A to point B.
Yes, but he puts things in the ground. He doesn't take things out and move them.
Right, but you can move yourself, right? I mean, you could do it yourself with a U-Haul, right?
You know, generally movers have insurance in case they break something or whatever the case may be, and landscapers are totally different.
That's a really good point, going inside the courtroom.
What day was the move according to you?
The load day was the 15th. The delivery, basically wherever we were going, was the 16th.
Did you make her sign this before that?
I didn't make her do anything.
Did you have her sign this before
I had
that?
her sign that, but it wasn't in stipulation to where I'm not going to move you.
Yeah, but
unless
why
sign
would
it.
you have her sign where it says, I have inspected the moving van, I agree I have received all my goods, and I hereby release Quality Moving from any claims?
This is me through, I'm a landscaper.
Can you hear me? Do you hear me?
I hear you.
What am I asking you? I'm asking you why you'd have a customer, why you'd say, hey, sign here that I did everything right 4 days from now. Why would you do that?
Because we're doing the move anyway. I'm not going.
It doesn't matter. She's not in a position to say that you delivered everything fine and release you from it. That gets signed after the move, not before the move. That's a second signature you get from them after the move. Now, I like to think that you're just naive and not crooked, but you don't get that second signature till after the move is done. The whole point of that other paragraph is to get that after the move is done because it says the move went well.
Okay.
But I'm less startled by him than I am by you signing it. What's your relationship? Who's that?
This is my daughter.
Oh, geez. What would she do to you if you had signed that and she found out about it? Exactly, right? Okay, so let's talk about the move. What ends up happening with the move?
Okay, so he was supposed to come on the 15th for the move. He didn't show up. I called him a couple times. He finally returned my phone call about 3:30 in the afternoon to tell me.
You've got to be kidding me. When was the closing? The day after that?
The following week on a Wednesday.
The following week
Right.
on a Wednesday?
Yes.
So you were moving everything out a week before the closing?
Right, so I had time to clean the house and get everything together. So he called me and told me at 3:30 in the afternoon he was not showing up because he had to babysit for his kids.
Okay, it's not called babysitting if they're your own kids. Let's first start off with that. Go on.
Okay, but he would come the next day.
What happened that day?
That day I had nobody to watch my kids, so I called her.
When did you call her?
It wasn't midday. It was probably around 12:30.
What time were you supposed to be there?
Between 11 and 1.
What time did you call her?
About maybe 12:30, between 12:30 and 1:30.
3:30, I have the phone.
Do you have any proof of what time you called her?
I know.
I have all the phone
When did you
messages.
call? What,
and all the text
when did you
messages.
find out you had to take care of your kids?
Well, during that time, I called her
When
probably.
did you find out you had to take care of your kids?
I don't remember what time it
Why
was.
did you have to take care of your kids? How old are your kids?
8, 5, and 1.5. Probably
Okay.
school day. I don't know if they were off school. I'm not 100% sure what happened. I just know I called her and I told her I'd take care of everything.
Okay, I understand, but you understand that a move is a move. It's
Right.
scheduled on a certain day. It's not like I'll fit you in when I have time. You're not.
Well, no, yes.
You're not a contractor where you could say, I'll get there when I get there. That's like a move is different.
Right.
She is literally everything is packed up. She has like, unless she's a planner, she hasn't packed a little separate bag that has your essentials. And either way, it's incredibly inconvenient. She expected all that stuff gone and her to be able to start cleaning and everything. That's like a pretty major breach. So he comes the next day and...
Well, he shows up at 12:30 with one other guy with a 1995 little truck that he rented from the
What do you mean by
local gas station.
1995? Oh, they cost 1995?
Yes,
the ones
a
that you
little
all
truck
advertise? Okay.
And a bus from the VA van, from the VA hospital that his friend drives.
A
to
bus
move-
from the VA van?
From the VA hospital.
From the VA hospital?
To move 2,500 square feet of boxes and furniture
Okay. These pictures came from where?
from outside the storage.
You ended up taking a picture of it? You must have been mad.
It's the VA bus.
So what goes wrong on that day?
Okay.
Shows up late.
So.
Shows up with those two.
Which
makes the move harder on him.
The move that was supposed to be 4 hours ended up taking, the first time we checked into the storage unit, and I have all the papers here, was 2:30 in the afternoon. The last time we left was 9:30 at night, all those back and forth, back and forth. So instead of stocking my storage unit the way it should be, heavy on the bottom, lighter on the top or whatever, they were like
Because there
doing
were
a
so many
puzzle. They were
trips.
kind of like filling
Right.
in a puzzle.
Right.
So my dining room table ended up on its side, up against the wall, being held up by boxes of china, glasses. I have pictures of everything.
And one of the things you're suing for is $200 that you say you paid somebody to pull everything out and stock it back the way you wanted. Show me the proof of the $200.
Here's the letter from the guy. And here's the table when it first went in. Here's the table up against the wall. Where's the one on the floor? My desk is on the floor, and
Okay.
I asked him before he even moved me if he had insurance, and he assured me he had insurance.
Well, did he break anything? No.
I have no idea. I haven't
Well,
touched anything that's
Okay,
in
well,
this
I'm not
storage
here
unit.
about him breaking anything.
No, it's
Okay.
not
You
about
asked him
that.
if he had insurance on what?
He said yes, he had insurance, but I have 2 contracts with 2 different names on it, 2 different company names.
Let me first put your mind at ease. You are going to get back the $950, okay? Because although that first move was something that she canceled, and normally I would say, too bad, so sad, you have an agreement. I feel that the failure to show up on the right day, for whatever reason, I don't care what the reason is. If you're not in the hospital, I have to watch my own kids. No. You pay somebody to watch your kids, you figure something out, and then you do the move you're supposed to do. And I think that that is a sufficient breach of such high magnitude that it is anticipatory of the Virginia move, and you are no longer entitled to keep that $950. The $570 he earned, but for the $200 that she had to pay somebody else to be able to shuffle stuff around the way it should have been, because it's a 2,500 square foot house, and 5 or 6 trips is going to do exactly that. You have to put certain things in a certain way, but you can't if everything isn't done, if the move doesn't happen all at once. So I'm going to order you to return the $950, and I'm going to order you to return.
Might I say something?
No, the
Okay.
$200 that it cost her to do it right, for a total of $1,150. The rest of the move he earned, and he's not going to return. That's my judgment.
Thank you.
So the judge finds for the plaintiff she's going to get $1,150 back from Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, what do you think about all this?
I mean, she wasn't happy, understandable.
Well, it's understandable, obviously. Yeah.
She was there the whole entire move. You don't like the way something's being moved? Tell me, I'll fix it for you. Easy, simple.
Well, the point is, the big thing is, you didn't show up when you really were supposed to. That's why she's getting the $950 back.
I
You
showed
know
up the
that.
date of the move. The day before the move wasn't for the. It
No,
wasn't
you
for me
didn't
to
show
be
up the
there.
day of the move.
Right.
Moving's not your strong suit, you know?
No, I'm a landscaper.
Yeah, good. Stick to landscaping.
There we go, exactly.
Okay, good
Have a
luck.
good one.
Then you won't be in court again, all right? Ms. Martin, if you'll step over here. You should feel pretty good now, I would think.
I do feel good. I'm happy about
Yeah,
this.
good. You don't know if there was anything was damaged because everything's still packed, right?
Correct.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Okay, the door is that way. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, what the judge is saying about not showing up, it's called an anticipatory breach, which means that even before somebody is supposed to do the job, if they make it clear they're not going to do it, you can treat the contract as if it's over. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.